Hi, Janice. Thank you so much for taking the time to meet with me. It's a real honor. You have many years' experience in IP in South Africa. How is the current COVID-19 situation impacting the legal sector in general, and which are the major changes you've seen in the last few months?
Sure. Look, so in my entire career, I mean, this is a most unusual situation we've ever experienced. And in South Africa, we've experienced some unusual situations. I mean, we've had 1994, where South Africa became a democracy. We've had some big changes in the country, but nothing like this before. This will really change the legal profession forever. What has happened now in the last while is that clearly a lot of the clients that we service have shut down as much as we have. I'm speaking here about South African clients. So it's become very difficult to follow up on matters. Deadlines might be approaching internationally, but you can't reach your local client. So that clearly is a big problem. Another issue, of course, is issue of costs, because clients just don't have cash flow. So they are very reticent to commit to expenses. But as anybody who deals with intellectual property and patents in particular will know, patents run on fixed timelines. They're immutable, they can't be changed. So if you're up against a deadline, it's not as sufficient, it doesn't help you to be able to say, well, we just didn't have the money at the time, can't we do it later? And those are really the biggest issues that we are facing in South Africa at the moment when it comes to our practice. From a practical perspective, IT helps a lot. So our firm in particular continued to operate virtually in the same way as if we had been at the office. But our clients not, and that is potentially where the problem lies.
You and your firm are fortunate to have two IT professionals working hand in hand at all times on staff. So you're able to adjust pretty quickly. And as a partner at Hahn Hahn, you manage the patent and law and food law departments. What are the challenges and opportunities the current situation presents to these areas in particular?
So very fortunately, the food industry as a whole was largely excluded from the entire lockdown process. Clearly, people need to eat whether there's lockdown or not. Food law was an essential support service for the food industry. So not only was my food law department as busy as usual, but in fact busier, because challenges which arose were often run past me for clarification. How do we do this? Are we allowed to do that? So that was very helpful that I had a food law department in addition to my intellectual property department.
Right. So you probably had a little bit more the food industry because they're the only ones open and people are home. They may be eating more. So you have solid experience across various industries. Do you see COVID-19 having an impact on IP stakeholders? And if so, would you say this impact is more noticeable in some industries than others?
Yes, I think it's got an impact now, but I think the impact will be felt for a very long time. IP is seen in some cases as a luxury, which means when times become hard, IP gets cut back on. We've seen this before. We saw this in 2008. We saw this in 2001. Companies that are investing in IP for the long term say, maybe we don't need to invest as much. So what they do is they cut back. You'll find that they abandon applications. They don't file as many new ones as they did in the past. And of course, they are very, very cost sensitive. I need to come back to this. I think that the playing field will change from a cost perspective. Companies will start saying, how can we save on costs, but yet still maintain our IP?
So you have received, with your various experience, you have received many different awards, especially in 2019, the IAM Patent 1000 Award, the World's Leading Patent Professionals Award in 2020. As a seasoned IP expert, what are the challenges and opportunities presented to you by the current situation?
So the current opportunity is to be, and it sounds like just a phrase, I mean, to be lean and mean. I think over the decades, IP professionals have felt they are somehow superior to the rest. I see this when I attend conferences and I speak to colleagues. And what's going to have to change is IP professionals are going to have to become lean, going to have to operate potentially at lower margins, and be proactive and helpful to our clients. Assist them in their business, not see their business as a source of income.
Anything else, Janice, you would like to add that reflects how IP has been impacted by the global reality we are currently living in?
Companies are going to start looking at how are they spending the money and what are they getting for it. Pie in the sky, one day maybe inventions you're going to find will be either only patented in their home countries or in the main markets. And in further markets like South Africa is, or the rest of Africa where we also practice, I suspect we're going to see a drop-off in the number of patents in the coming years, and then eventually it will start picking up again.